prime example that you can't be woke enough. We're talking about these two fools. Prime example, Sarah Silverman, that you can never be woke enough. That the moment that you try to challenge or correct or point out a flaw to maintain truth that all American people just want, that you will be attacked. The liberal left will eat at you. They will cancel you. How dare you? So let me give you guys a quick synopsis, right? You guys know I'm from Florida. I'm out here with Ron Desantis, man. By far the best governor we've had, all the way from the way he handled the Wuhan response to keeping the liberties for the people. To be honest, my opinion, the way Florida's being ran, the whole entire United States should be ran. But we know that this regime, this communist regime, and their antics. So basically, this whole beef between Sarah Silverman and Joy Reid, which we'll get into, started from Ron Desantis wanting to create his own military, right? A National Guard in Florida. So that it's outside of the Pentagon. So federal government's hands are not in it. It's his own response military to be able to help with certain events that take place in Florida. So I want to play the video so you guys have an understanding on what's going on.
We also want to make sure that we have the flexibility and the ability needed to respond to events in our state in the most effective way possible. And some of that will require us to be able to have access and be able to use support in ways that are not encumbered by the federal government or don't require federal government. So I'm going to be recommending in the budget $3.5 million to reestablish the Florida State Guard.
The move comes after a defense.
As you can see, that's respectable. That's respectable. He wants to create a military, a division, something that will have quicker response with certain events that take place in Florida. But we all know that the left-wing media, they took it and they ran with it. The left-wing Democrat cabal, Gestapo, fake news media put out partial information, manufactured information to create and shape and incite emotion in groups of people that believe them, believe the BS that they put on the news. So one of those individuals is Joy Reid. Now, you guys know I have a deep disdain for Joy Reid. I think she's probably one of the most racist people on TV. And I'm not even sure how she still has a TV show. That's another content for another day. But Joy Reid goes on to join the rest of the escapade of clowns in this society that we're in now. She goes on to tweet and say, so y'all know this is fascisty. Bananas, right? Joy Reid, there's nothing fascist about this whatsoever. She wants to call out Ron Desantis saying that him trying to implement this military, this National Guard, is fascism, when she supports and turns a blind eye to all the fascism that Joe Biden and the rest of the regime do on a daily basis. She wants to turn a blind eye to that. As a matter of fact, Ron Desantis, as I said earlier, in the state of Florida, he's actually protecting the liberties of the people. He's protecting their rights. People aren't losing their jobs. People aren't losing their businesses. He's reopening the economy. He's not pushing or forcing anything on anybody. He's actually protecting the liberties of the people. Unlike you, on the other hand, you turn a blind eye and you romantically uphold and support the real fascists, which is Joe Biden and his communist regime, along with the rest of the Democrat cabal. So it's these type of tweets, these kind of news coverage from these anchors that have these shows that all they do is spew misinformation and racist rhetoric. So Sarah Silverman, a progressive liberal airhead, she couldn't take it no more. She goes on to respond, please, this is her tweet, please read the article before you post this stuff. You're a news outlet. The truth has to matter. I mean, shout out to Sarah Silverman. I don't like you, but I respect the fact that you are calling out left-wing pundit. And guess what? This stuff happens on the right as well. But I feel like it happens more, this misinformation, this cultish like behavior happens more from the left. for many different reasons. I think reasons of they're so married to identity politics that this is the kind of stuff that they do, that the moment that someone like Sarah Silverman calls out what really matters, which truth it matters, truth should matter to anybody, that she gets attacked. So the moment that she tweets this in response to Joy Reid's partial false information on Ron DeSantis, pushing a narrative to shape the minds of the people that listen to her crap, Sarah Silverman challenges her and says, hey, the truth has to matter. Can you read the article before you post this? You're a news outlet. And if Joy Reid would have read this article, she would have found out that there's 22 other states that do the same thing, similar to what Ron DeSantis is trying to do. And this would make Ron DeSantis the 23rd state to do it. But she failed to mention that. She wanted to paint a picture and push a narrative on Ron DeSantis as if he's rogue. He's trying to create some type of militia, some military, so that he can go up against the federal government, so that there's a civil war too. Guys, people, you got to wake up and look and see what these clowns are doing. This is literally a clown world. So the moment that Sarah Silverman does that, oh my God, the Democratic cabal, Gestapo media, and all the other cabals associated with this Democratic regime, they go right into mode. They pull out the sword and they start canceling people. Of course, the Golden Girls of The View, they come out and say that, oh, how dare you call out your own party. What you did was racist to call out and try to cut off a black woman. I mean, what? There's nothing racist about this. Sarah Silverman says she's educated. I think she's one of the most dumbest people on the news. If you're that educated, then why are you putting out misinformation? You're putting out false information. It's not by accident, I can tell you that. It ain't by accident, but this is what I really loved about the most. The face on Sarah Silverman. Because after she responded to Joy Reid's false tweet, she got a lot of backlash. I mean, a lot of backlash from the left, all the way from the Golden Girl Gestapos on The View, attacking her, saying, how dare she check somebody in her own party. They pretty much ate her. Her head's rolling on the floor somewhere. And it just goes to show you that you're not allowed to check anything that may be wrong or false on the left. Now, I'm sure it happens on the right. There's plenty of instances where people are checking and correcting and calling out things that take place on the right. But it's just very unusual and funny to me to see when the left, they do it to themselves and how they try to go about canceling and literally chopping your head off for challenging. And then they go to the extent of saying it's racist. I mean, you can't make this up, man. Check this out.
Own side. We can't even critique anyone in your own party without punishment. One of the hosts of The View was like, what hubris for Sarah Silverman to accuse a black woman of not reading. Oi!
How dare you check a black woman? How dare you? You're racist. That's the way that these people think.
Jesus H, what the...
I feel you. What the...
Good grief. I don't want any trouble. I cannot believe I need to say this, but I did not criticize JoyAnn because she's black, but because she's a Harvard-educated journalist with a...
She's a Harvard-educated dummy that obviously has a channel on news that spews nothing but misinformation and racially charged things that divide us in this country. I mean, you can't make this up. There's another part that I wanted to play that Sarah Silverman said that I really liked. And it's just about sticking to the truth, right?
And, but more than I like her and more than I don't like him, I care about what is true and how it's presented by news outlets.
And that should matter to everybody. Whether you're on the right or whether you're on the left, it's about what's true and how it's presented. And too often we're getting this on the right and on the left. People that with their cultish mentality, political cultish mentality, they're just putting out things to root for their guy or root for their side. Just like Sarah Silverman, as much as we don't like her and her ideology and her stance, this is a prime example that the moment that you try to unplug from the matrix and stick to the truth, you will be canceled. That they don't like you challenging anything of their own party or their own side. All in all, you should be able to critique, challenge, and call out things that are veering away from the truth. And that's what matters. You should be able to be so passionate about your stance and what you are representing and what you say, and not feel like you have to apologize to anybody for it. In Sarah Silverman's case, she stood up to what she felt was wrong and was misleading people from the truth, to the point now she has to placate and somewhat apologize, pander to her own party that she represents, because they will cancel her and say that she's racist. This is not good in our country, y'all. We have to do better. You should be able to call out anybody, critique and criticize anything without feeling like you're going to be canceled. With that being said, y'all, I thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, man. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi.